Welcome to Sprinkled with Hope. Your host Shane, and today we're going to be talking to Lewis Morris. He is such a great guy. He's got a great energy about him, super relaxed, but focused on what he wants to talk about. He's going to talk a little bit about relationships and the importance of those and some keys on how to build those.
Yeah, I thought it was really a great conversation that we had with Lewis. And
welcome to the Sprinkled with Hope podcast.
This is Jason, and this is Shane.
And it's podcast time.
Welcome to our podcast. We have an awesome guest today with us. We've been chatting a little bit with him. I love his energy, and as you can tell, he's really relaxed. Lewis Morris, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, welcome, man. I appreciate you guys inviting me on, man. I really do. Yeah, so let's just talk for a little while and just enjoy ourselves.
Absolutely. For those of you who can see us, you can tell Lewis is nice and relaxed. He's got his awesome lights behind him. For those of you who are hearing,
yeah,
you can hear him, but hopefully you get the message across. So
yeah, he's vibing.
Yeah.
He's vibing. It's great.
Yeah, I like to keep it light, man. There's so much heavy stuff going on, so we gotta we gotta relax when we can, because we gotta deal with some heavy stuff right now. All right, so you guys all right? You guys
Lewis,
good?
why don't you... We're doing so good.
We are doing
Hope
good.
you're doing great.
I'm good, man.
Very good. Lewis, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself for the listeners that don't know you? Why don't you introduce yourself? Just tell us a little bit of background of what you do and what you're, just those type of things.
Okay, my name is Lewis Morris. It's Louis, not Lewis, right? And I'm from Newark, New Jersey. Now I'm here in Beckley, West Virginia. So I decided, because I was raised with 4 sisters and my mother, and I was the only boy. I decided that I would take that experience and become a relationship and spiritual life coach. So that's what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? I'm a relationship coach, spiritual life coach, and I also host a podcast called The Heart Matters. So this is what I do. This is my passion. I love it. And we can get some good messages out to people, because we need good messages right now. So this is my mission, man. This is what I'm on, and I'm running. I'm running with this thing like a bunny rabbit.
I love it.
That's
I love
awesome.
it, Lewis.
Very good. So Lewis, you mentioned that you are a coach, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that, or what got you even interested in that?
Okay, let me give you the brief synopsis. What happened is that in 2017, I was trying to figure out, because I had stuff scattered all over the place. I had books on Amazon. I wrote articles on Medium. I had my podcast, right? So I was trying to figure out, how can I bring all of these things together so I can benefit people. So I hired a coach. So I hired a coach at the beginning of this year when the pandemic hit in March. First, I got my life coach certification. I got that in 2017, in May of 2017. And then I hired a life coach this year when the pandemic hit, and she helped me bring everything together. You know what I'm saying? She put the website together for me. She put all my stuff on the website. You know what I'm saying? We worked out how we're going to put the packages together and everything like that. And this is where we are now. You know what I'm saying? Because I needed to put the things together, because I felt there was some benefit there with people, because people were responding to my articles and stuff like that. And,
right.
And people were listening to the podcast a little bit. But I said it would be better if we bring everything together so that we can disperse it in a more organized way. So that's why I hired the coach, and she did a fantastic job. And this is where we at now. We just, I'm so excited, and I try to encourage people during this time not to be pessimistic, because we can get like that. You know what I'm saying? You see,
Absolutely.
watch the news and you see all of the negativity, and it can wear on you. You know what I'm saying? But look at it as an opportunity to spread good. You know what I'm saying? To help people, cope with what's going on and the like. So that's where I'm at, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so excited, to be living in this time, man. Really, I really am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I do
Yeah.
too. I mean, there's so many things that could take us away from having that, right? Like just loving it. And, there's times where you could be pessimistic, but, like you, I'm really trying to have an optimistic outlook. And, I mean, me and Shane, we believe in hope, and we're going to talk about that a little bit, but, yeah, I mean, days are going to be good ahead, right? Like, and we got to have that attitude,
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Don't let this stuff wear you down to where you think there is no hope. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at what we've been through in this country. You know what I'm saying? We had the smallpox, we had slavery, we had the depression, and we still here. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not, you know what I'm saying? We still here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as long as we're here, you know what I'm saying, and our hearts are in the right place, okay, well, let's promote that then. You know what I'm saying? Why are you sitting back talking about woe is me? And no, promote some good, get some good out there. I mean, it's enough negativity.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We don't need nobody to do no more of that. We got plenty of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, wow.
So Lewis, do you typically coach individuals, or do you focus more on couples, or what's your?
Okay, my thing is, because of my background that I mentioned, being raised with 4 sisters and the only boy, it's women and couples. I had to expand it. It was just women at first, but then my coach said, look, that's a bit narrow, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're dealing with relationships, you're dealing with 2 people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to deal with, you know what I'm saying, the couple. So I expanded it to women and couples. And the reason I say women is because many times as guys, and you know this, we just don't want to seek help like that. Especially when it comes to a woman that we're with, you know what I'm saying? Because, we get all macho and be like, man, I don't need no help with my woman. You know what I'm saying? So women are usually the initiators of that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I put women first, because usually they're the ones who get in touch with me. You know what I'm saying? They say, Lewis, can I set up a call, like that? But they're really thinking about the both of them. They're not just thinking about themselves. They're thinking about their relationship. You know what I'm saying? But we're a little reluctant to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a man, so I know. I know, man. We just
and we struggle with talking sometimes, right? That's just the reality of how we are. So I think that's great that you're doing that. So I'm sure in times of like this that you're changing. Do you do it face to face, or do you do it a lot Zoom?
No, I only do it online. You know, because online, it's a lot going on. So it's a safe space. You can talk to people, and there's no possibility for any monkey business.
Yeah.
I'm not into the monkey business. I'm just trying to help, you know what I'm saying? So that alleviates that cuts that out. Sure. There was a woman recently who got in touch with me, and, we got on a call, and, she said that she wanted me to coach her in person. That's not what she wanted.
Yeah.
She didn't want that. That's not what she wanted, but that's what she was saying. But I let her know. I said, listen, I only do it online.
Yeah.
I only coach online. I said, because it's safer for the both of us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
She didn't like it, you know what I'm saying? But she understood where I was coming from. You know what I'm saying? And I have to keep it that way in order to protect all the people that are involved. And I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and you're kind of talking about, this safe space, and, you're doing everything online right now. Have you notice you're doing anything different because of COVID, or is that just kind of how you've done it all along?
Well, the advice that you have to give to couples is different
Yeah.
because they can't, you can't go out as much in most parts of the country
Right.
because, and unfortunately it's getting worse, and around the country, maybe because people aren't following the CDC guidelines, whatever the reasons are, it seems to be getting worse in most parts of the country. So people can't go out like that. So because of that, you have to coach couples on how to give each other space, while
Right.
in this situation. So I tell couples, okay, well, just give each other some space, every day. One of you can go for a drive. Maybe you can just, find separate rooms and go do work in different rooms at different times of the day, so you're not seeing each other all the time, because that can become problematic if you just around your spouse all the time. My goodness, why don't you go somewhere, get some bread or something, just leave the house for you. Can you give me a break, that type of thing. So
Yeah.
I give that advice where we should be considerate of the fact, because there's an old saying that says absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Right.
I believe that, you know what I'm saying? But if
Yeah.
you're around each other all the time, there is no absence. So you have to
Yeah.
give each other time and space to breathe, so that when you are together, it's not, it's not that tension and that, well, I need a little space, you had
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
so in that regard, it's a little different, and you have to come up with creative ways for them to date and things like that, and I did something recently about that, some inexpensive dating, because a lot of people don't have a lot of money, which is another issue we're dealing with.
Yeah.
The economy is in a bad spot. So we have to come up with, inexpensive dates, so that the couples can spend time with each other and doesn't cost them a lot of money to do it. So other than that, everything is pretty much still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you were talking about just a little bit ago was taking time really for each of us individually, even if we're as a couple, that's okay, but we have to take that time individually to focus sometimes on our needs, and our needs could mean that we just need to spend a little time alone, and that's okay. That it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be that we're constantly together. And so that time and space allows us to clear our minds, and I think focus better on the relationship, no matter what the relationship is.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So those are the differences, the minor differences that everything else is pretty much the same, because relationships in general, are the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People,
Yeah.
they go through ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? There's arguments, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, but because of COVID, you have these little wrinkles that you have to address with the couple.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so, what advice would you give to couples that are maybe struggling right now, um, that are looking for that, maybe distance or some help in their relationship because they are struggling right now?
Okay, now let's look at it from a couple of angles. One, and I did a podcast about this recently. There are certain things in a relationship that are irreconcilable differences, that I call them, right? So I'm not talking about those. Those are not the things that I'm dealing with, because
Right.
those things usually end in separation or divorce. I'm talking about just issues where, you're not getting along, you're not being as intimate as you used to be, you're not communicating the way you used to, so sometimes couples don't know how to navigate those things, what I'm saying, because they become worried about argumentation and whether the other person is going to get irritated. So they become concerned about that. So I just give them a little, certain methods to use in order to get around that, so they can get to the table and talk. Because in most cases, lack of communication is what
Right.
starts to pull two people apart. In most cases, other than money. because money is a big
Yeah.
issue.
Right.
Money's a big
Yeah.
issue. You know what I'm saying? Money's a big issue with everybody, especially couples. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right.
other than money, lack of communication is usually the root of the issues. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not talking anymore. This person is displeased because he's not doing that. He's displeased because she's doing this, but they're not saying anything to each other because they don't want to argue. They don't want to fight. They don't want to make the other person mad. They don't want to get mad. Whatever the reasons are, they don't talk about it. So my job is to get them to the table and to start communicating effectively about the issues that exist in the relationship. And there are steps that you have to take them to once I talk to them, because I don't really know what's going on until I talk with them. The way you guys are like asking me questions, I have to do that with them.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, what's going on here? What's going on there? You know what I'm saying? And then, as a coach, that's why you have to go through certain training, because you have to learn how to read between the lines, because sometimes they don't tell you everything. They just give you a little bit, and then you be like, okay, well, maybe, you might need maybe you should look at it from this point of view. You know what I'm saying? And you just give them something to go with, and then they make their own decision, and then you can go from there. You can get them to talk to each other more effectively once you find out what the roots of the problems are.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, Lewis. I think a lot of our problems today stem from our lack of communication, or that we haven't figured out how to effectively communicate, and then we just simply don't. We just stop talking to each other, and I think that's so important. Along with communication, I think it's vital to listen to what anyone is telling you. If you are sitting there thinking in your mind all the things that you're going to rebuttal, you're really not focused on the communication and that two-way street. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you have to pay attention to what's being said, and that's one of the intricate things about relationships. Once and for women, it's really important. Men, we kind of like, and in some cases, man, we don't even care if she's listening. We don't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We be like, look, I don't care if you listen. As long as you're responding,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, to what I'm doing. I don't care if you listen to what I'm saying. We get like that. But women, that's a big deal for them. You know what I'm saying? And they take polls and they do studies about this stuff. We love studies in America. And women, one of the big things with women is that they want their man to listen to them. They want them to be attentive. So you have to do that. Saying when she's talking and when he's talking, saying just pay attention to what he said. Saying, and then if you form your response after they finish talking. Yeah. Don't start forming it while they're talking. Just wait till they finish and say, okay, well, let me think about that. What I'm saying? Give yourself a minute and then say, well, this is what I think about what you said, like that.
Yeah.
So effective listening, what I'm saying, is paramount.
Yeah.
Period. Not just in relationships. I'm talking about generally, Right. And I think most of us understood that, the other night when we watched that debate, because wasn't too much of that going on.
Yeah, right.
Not too much of that going on.
No, and I really like what you said, where you said, take a pause and think about what the other person's saying, right? Because sometimes we're so quick to respond that maybe we didn't catch everything they said, right? Because we're thinking, oh, I got to respond so quickly. I got to say something because it'll be awkward or whatever. But so I really like that, how you said, just take a pause. And then, is this what you said?
Yeah, because again, Jason, you got to understand that that's a part of effective communication, because if you think before you speak, you get into a habit of weighing what you're going to say, because if sometimes you just go off the cuff, you might say something that can be misinterpreted. But if you think about it and say, okay, well, he says such and such, if I say that, he might not understand that, so you give yourself a chance to make your response appropriate to what was said so that you don't start to clash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you don't want to, now I'm not saying that there won't be an argument, because sometimes arguments are good if they're effective. If you don't get into the 7 things that can make it worse with name calling and, saying, I might as well go be with so-and-so, these are the things that you don't want to do during an argument. But if you stay away from those things, arguments can be productive, So the stopping and taking time to think about what you're going to say is an effective way to communicate with your partner. You know what I'm saying? Because you're considering what they said, and now you're considering how you're going to respond so that things remain positive. And that's what we try to, teach the couples, because a lot of times it just doesn't. Couples don't know how to do that the longer they've been in a relationship. In the beginning, you're careful anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to make the best impression, because you want to be with this person. You know what I'm saying? But once you're with the person like 5 years, you're not concerned with that anymore. You're just saying whatever. That's not a good way to go. You still have to remain a certain level of decorum in order for you to grow in the relationship. Yeah. And that's what a relationship is about. It's about growth. 2 people should be intending to grow in the relationship and not remain stagnant.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice, Lewis. I really like that. So you seem like a very busy man. What are you most excited for going forward? What's something that you're really excited for in the very near future?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you that today I was looking into some E-Trade.
Right.
I'm trying to diversify my portfolio, because in order for me to do the good that I want to do, because I'm getting older now. I just had a birthday last month. I turned 55. So in order for me to do the good that I really want to do, I'm going to need more capital. I'm going to need more money, you know what I'm saying, in order to help more people, So that's like the short-term goal. The long-term goal is what I told my coach when we first got on our consultation call. I said, listen, I want to be the next Les Brown with a spiritual base. You guys know Les Brown, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I used to watch Les Brown on PBS when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because Les Brown has helped a lot of people. I mean, he's really helped, not just with his public speaking and his writing, but with his story. I mean, if you listen to Les Brown's story, I mean, it's incredible. It incredible, really, man. It's incredible what he went through to get to where he is. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I wanted to, I want people to see my story, you know what I'm saying, and be inspired by it, because I was raised in the ghetto. That's where I was raised at. You know what I'm saying? It was just, police sirens and urine in the hallway and, and all, it was nasty, but now, he's blessed me, God's blessed me to be in a different place. So I want to help people with the experiences that I've had, you know what I'm saying, that I've been through. I want to assist others with that. That's the long-term goal. But the short-term goal is to get more money to do it.
I totally admire you for what you said, because you did say, the short term is money, but the reason that you want that is to help people.
That's
and the long-term solution is exactly the same. You want to turn around and help people. So I really appreciate that. I really respect you for that.
Yeah, it's important, man. It really is important to
I agree.
To try to inspire other people. Absolutely. And I just wrote well, I got a podcast coming out tomorrow about that. because I was not in a good place Friday when I woke up and found out that the president had COVID-19. And then I went to social media and saw what some of the people were saying about it and how they were making fun of the president. You know what I'm saying? I was not pleased. You know what I'm saying? I was not happy at all, because even if you disagree with him, and I understand there's a lot of people that disagree with him. One, he's still the president.
Right.
Two, he's still a human being. Okay, so why would you want another human being to be afflicted with a deadly disease? Why would that make you happy? I didn't understand some of the posts that I was seeing, you know what I'm saying? Because my thing is that I want to help people. That's my thing, you know what I'm saying? So why would I want bad to happen to somebody even if I disagree with them, if I don't like certain things that they do? Why would I want them to be inflicted with a deadly disease? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Honestly, I mean, we can all have disagreements, like you're saying. We can have an argument or a disagreement, but we still have to respect each other, no matter our differences, right? And that's really what it comes down to. I really like, kind of you were saying where you've come from, and that to me is also kind of a testament of who you are, Lewis, and coming from the ghetto and a place that probably, I mean, you could probably answer this better than anybody, but there's probably a lot of kids that didn't make it out of there, right? And so, I applaud you for doing, moving forward in your life and making those steps to help people. Because me and Shane, we love to help people, and that's kind of our mission right now, is to spread love and positivity and just help people, because people need help.
It's a great mission, isn't it?
It really is.
It's a great mission, man. There's a woman. It really is, man. There's a woman that has helped me a lot. Her name, I don't know if you know her. Her name is Bonita Condi. Right.
I don't know that.
She's the founder and CEO of a company called Create Radical Love. If you get a chance, look at her website. She's fantastic. And we got in touch with each other. And she's my friend, you know what I'm saying? And we became friends in short order. But I messaged her one day, and I said to her, what a great job we have. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to help people, trying to help people in their lives. You know what I'm saying? It's a great job. And she just messaged me back and said, it's just because it is. You know what I'm saying? It is a great job. It doesn't mean. And a lot of people, they look at that and they say, well, what are you saying? Are you saying that your life is perfect? And like, no, we struggle. Right. I struggle every day with things. There are things that I have problems with, you know what I'm saying, emotionally, you know what I'm saying? I go through emotional things, but I have certain things. I pray, you know what I'm saying? I read scripture, you know what I'm saying? I exercise, you know what I'm saying? There are things that I do that help me with those things, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean I don't have them. I have them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's part of helping people, you know what I'm saying? That you do your own work so that you can work with others.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a great job, man. I love it.
Yeah, that's such great advice. We have to help ourselves first before we can reach that hand out to help others.
Absolutely.
So we've come up with 2 questions that we call the double down dose. So,
cool. I love it, man. All right, let's hear this. Let's hear this.
So, Lewis, my question for you, we, of course, the name of our podcast is Sprinkle with Hope. So hope is really important to us. What does hope mean to you personally?
Okay, what it means to me is that when you think, because a lot of us, we think things and it doesn't mean that it's true. When we think that we're at a point where we can't do better and we can't improve, there's a tradition that I want to give you. And I want you guys to think about this, right? And I reflect on it often. It says, don't look at the people who have more than you, but look at the people who have less than you. Because if you look at the people who have more than you, you won't be grateful for the gifts that God has given you.
Absolutely.
In the tradition. That is a tradition of hope, because there are always people who have less than you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what situation you're in. There are always people that are in a worse situation than you are. So when you begin to lose hope, look at those people. Not the people who have more than you, you know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the people who have less, you'll appreciate all of the things that you have. Just go around your apartment where you are and think about what's in your apartment. You got food in the refrigerator. You got food in the cabinet. You got running water. You got toilets that work. You got family that love you. You can count them and you'll run out. I guarantee you won't be able to count anymore, because there's so many good things that exist in your life. So if a person or people that are listening to me are losing hope, reflect on that tradition. I will repeat it so that you can really think about it. The tradition states, don't look at the people who have more than you, but look at the people who have less than you. Because if you look at the people who have more than you, you won't appreciate the gifts that God has given you.
I love that advice. That is such great advice.
I love it too, and I really, I think sometimes we often lose that sight of gratitude, and gratitude in our lives is huge. I mean, that's talk about the spiritual side of yourself. I mean, when you get into gratitude in yourself, that's where you grow.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that so much. So the follow-up question to that double down dose that I have is, what or how would you define love? What is your definition of love?
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, well, how do you all right, let me say this. It is something that dictates action. That's one. Meaning that if a person or people claim to love someone, then love is an emotion that doesn't allow a person to be not to act on it. Meaning, if you love someone, you're going to do things in order to prove that love, not because you feel you have to, but you're compelled to. That's number one. Love is an emotion that dictates action. Now, what is it? It is an emotion that comes only through knowledge. Once you get to know about a thing or a person or a pet, like you bring the cat home, right? You know what I'm saying? You like the cat because you brought the cat home. You know what I'm saying? But you don't begin to love the cat until you see how the cat is around the house, how he cuddles with you, you know what I'm saying, and how he acts with the kids, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. His mood swings that he goes through. Sometimes he goes and hides under the bed. You begin to love the cat. You begin to have an affection for the cat because you know the cat now. You have knowledge of the cat's mood and temperament and things like that. So love is something that it grows with knowledge. Now, let me back up now. It doesn't mean that you don't like a person immediately, but love is different than like. It's stronger than like. You know what I'm saying? It's an emotion where you can't control it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you can stop yourself. You can just say, look, well, you know, I'm not gonna allow myself to love you. You can't do that. You can't do that. Now it could stop. You could stop loving a person, but that's based on knowledge too. You understand? You with me? That's based on knowledge too, because the person did some things, you know what I'm saying, that caused us to stop loving them. You see what I'm saying? You found out some stuff about the person that caused you to stop loving the person. Some actions took place that cut the love off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can't stop yourself from loving them. It's not that type of emotion. Once you start getting these feelings, that's it. They just come. That's the way it is.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
That's true.
So we really can't define it. So many people have tried.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So many, Byron Keats and LL Cool J and Beyonce, people that are a lot more articulate than I am. They're trying to define this thing. So I don't know what it is. All I know is that you can't stop it and that it dictates action.
That's great. Yeah, Jason and I talk a lot about action, that we can listen to things, we can read books, but if we don't do something, we're not going to grow as much as we can unless we take the action of doing something, taking a step, going forward, doing something. And I think a lot of us get caught in our mind that we have to be perfect instead of just taking a step. And so I really appreciate your time, to your knowledge, and your just the vibe you've put off, Lewis, is fantastic. I love it.
Listen, man, I'm serious, man. Look, if you don't love, you have to love what you, that's why I wanted to leave my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I enjoy working there. I enjoyed working in the restaurant, but I didn't love it. I love this. You know what I'm saying? I'm passionate about this. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that it's a vehicle where I can help a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, how great is that, to be in a position to where you can benefit people, you know what I'm saying, with your experience and with your knowledge. And, you know what I'm saying, even there's something, I don't know if you've seen these YouTube videos that they have on where rich people, they go into the grocery store, and they usually do it around holiday time, like Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff like that, right? And they just start buying people's groceries.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody that comes through the line, they pay for their groceries. You know what I'm saying? They step up and they go to the store manager first, say, look, I want to buy some people groceries. And they'd be like, oh, okay, no problem. Right. So then when people come up in line, they put the stuff in their cart and they bagging it up. So then the guy comes up and says, can I pay for your groceries? And she'd be like, what? Yeah, I'm gonna take care of this for you. And they just swipe their card right quick before the person say no. It is great. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff that I would love to do. You know what I'm saying? Just be able to just go into the grocery store and just buy some people's groceries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Can I get that for you? Let me. I'm serious. I mean, it just makes people happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Maybe a person just got, some milk and some bread. But if you pay for them, it fills them up. It makes them happy. They go home and tell their family about it. Yeah, it was this guy in the supermarket, he paid for the grocery, he paid for, why he do that? I don't know. He just, it's, we're in a great position. We really are. Yeah, we really are.
So for our listeners, how can they find you? What information would you like to give the listeners so that if they want to find you, they can find you?
Okay, if you want to get any daily wisdom, any inspiration, you go check out my blog or anything like that. You can go to Instagram, Facebook, or Pinterest at Lewis Morris Coaching.
Okay.
At LOUISMORRIS Coaching. Or you could just go to the website, lewismorriscoaching.com. Everything is available there. All the books, the blog, podcast, everything is available there. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Great.
That is great. Thank you, Lewis, for your time and your energy. I love it, man. We've had a great conversation about relationships and love and hope, which we always like to finish off with. So thank you so much for coming on our show, Lewis. And
you're welcome, man. You're welcome. I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I really do.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lewis. We really appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night, man. Hey, listen, just let me know when you are going to put it out so I can give it to my PR person so she can do what she do.
Yep.
All right, man. You guys have a good evening.
You
All
too.
right, you
Thank
too,
you.
Lewis.
All right, man.
This is Sprinkled with Hope. If you liked this episode, please share it with a friend.
If you like our podcast, please give us a review or rating.